Now I lay me down to sleep. Ooh, Sharon, you are so off key. The funk. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, it is 7 o'clock. And time is just speeding away rapidly. And I know, I'm running late. And as always, these energies are so much fun. Mm-hmm. Very good. Um, Let me see. Oh, let me see. Coming through. And if there's anyone out there listening at the moment, I am, let me see. Process is sending out the link that needs to be sent out so that if someone wants to listen, they can. Okay, not yet. I'm working on it. This, I'm working on it. It's coming along. I think it'll be uh, just a moment. Mm, and I will be fully and completely on the air. In the meantime, it is magnificent. Mm, it is absolutely magnificent to be able to be here. Yes, indeedy. So I am thanking anybody who is able to listen to my voice at this particular moment in time. And it's just one of those one of those evening dances that we do. Okay. One of those evening things that takes place. Um, that takes place on Wednesdays with me, your host, Reverend Sharon. And it's going to continue to take place for as long as possible. As long as I can get my system to work with all of these magnificent energies that are coming through right now. So, thank you for your patience. I can't see anybody yet, but that's okay. Thank you for being there because in being there, the energy is shared, not just with you, but with every single person on the planet. And so, how is that going to work? Ah, there we go. That is going to work just fine. Okay. And here we go. And there we are. And we're almost set. Just a moment. Because this is important in that this evening is important. Every evening is important in that we recognize the energies that we're dealing with right now. And so a deep breath is a good thing. Remembering to do the deep breath is even more important. Just breathe and take it in. Yeah. While I'm talking about breathing and talking about taking it in, I just want you to know that as the information says for this evening, I am definitely being or holding in the light everyone that comes into my train of thought, my acquiescence, as they call it. There are people out there, you guys don't know just how powerful you are. And there are people out there that need to remember their power. Oh, it's not a bad thing. And your power. It's going to take you through more than just Christmas. It's going to take you through every aspect of your life. And so that's what mine is about this evening, remembering the power. Who you truly are. And taking a deep breath, knowing that your power is available and accessible to you at all times, and breathing. Oh my goodness. The deepness of the breath is essential. The heart, essential. Not because I say that it is, but because it is. keep in mind that I am dealing with a number of the frequencies of the energy that everyone else is dealing with right now. And so, my message is time is to give words of encouragement and breathe. Uh, all this little background information. Ah, what can I say? What can I say? There we go. And it is amazing how we can become so dependent upon technology, or what we decide to call technology. We become dependent. Oh my gosh. Like a fish has become dependent upon water. It's not a necessity, no, but it is something that, okay, it is something that we can do. And I'm going to try this one more time because I've just gotten a couple of texts that says they couldn't get in. Okay, that's okay. Right now, what's going on with me is that things are in their energetic way being uh, okay. Things in their energetic way are not responding to all of the energetic props that are taking place. Meaning my prompting, as opposed to, well, energy that has found its way into certain levels. So we just stay focused, we move forward, and we know that we are magnificently made in every aspect. We know it, we accept it. It is fantastic. It's something that we don't ever think of. And we do this now. Now, the reason for this evening, basically, the frequency of the energies, the vibrations of those frequencies that are coming in full throttle, full speed ahead. And for some people, they're not really. Uh, you could do a great deal more, let's say. Uh, Not one of those times. Okay. Let's see how the studio looks right now. Hmm. Okay. Looks quiet. Ah, I think there's one participant. Looks absolutely fabulous, as always. And I have brought her on. There she is. Before I started, before I started the meditation, because this is an energy of a light worker that you all are basically familiar with. I'm hoping that I can be heard. Last week, there was no hearing of me.
Mhm.
This week, can I be heard, my dear?
Loud and clear.
Ah, there we
Mhm.
go. Oi! Okay, there we go. So, of course, I've been hedging and hawing for the meditation to come through as it should come through. And I don't ask me to tell you what I wrote about this evening, okay?
Okay.
Because when they start sending the messages, I usually stop what I'm doing. I have to, especially if I'm going somewhere to try and listen. But I've been known to be hard headed as well. So,
You too.
uh, oh gosh, yes. But hey, this is what happens when you know that you are supposed to be in a specific place in a specific time, and you know that you contracted to do the work. And right now, the work is to assist with the encouragement of higher levels of vibrations of the energies that's coming through.
Mhm.
And so we are going to take this moment, taking in a deep breath through the nostrils, holding for the count of 7, and releasing through parted lips, and breathe. This meditation is for someone, and I have no name. It doesn't matter. The angels are with you, working diligently to assist you in bringing about that which is yours, and that is your greatness, your remembering of who you are. That is your greatness. And breathe, taking in through the nostrils, holding for the count of 7, releasing through parted lips, recognizing that you are even greater than a healer. Oh, of course, you are a healer. You are capable of so much. If I could just touch upon you, how great you are, you would be amazed. Because in observing you, I am honored. And in that respect, it is my privilege to assist in whatever way that I possibly can. Assist you in remembering your sovereign. And breathe. Breathing through the nostrils. Inhaling. Holding for the count of 10 and releasing through parted lips. Many of us have not been taught how to breathe properly. We breathe shallow, light breaths. And we don't consider how precious just the mechanism of our breathing is to reconnecting us to our spiritual worthiness. And breathe. So, to this end, we start the breath from just below the navel, taking in, of course, the oxygen through the nostrils, holding for the count of 10. We begin the process of remembering how to breathe. In your idle moments, when you have chores, when you have distractions and occupations of the day, you let go of the intention of your breath. Now is the time to stop. Now is the time to take your breathing and the intention of your breathing seriously. Because as a spiritual being, this is how you continue with the awakening of your true soul self. So, breathing from within, from the belly, just below the navel, this is where you allow your breath to culminate once you have reintroduced it into your system. You are a sovereign being that is currently located within a system of tactile vibrations and energies. Through your fingers, you feel. Through your tongue, you taste. Through your nose, you bring forth aromas and fragrances into your system that may assist you or not. You hear and you see, all based on the vibrations of the physical self. And even now, I tell you that this physical self is but an illusion of who you truly are. And breathe. And in bringing in the breath, allowing the abdomen to expand, allowing the breath to travel past the throat, the heart, solar plexus, into the sacral, and hold it there for just a moment. That breath is transmitting to you a code, breaking through that which no longer serves you, allowing you to breathe in, to live in to the moment of who you are. And you are great. Can you extend your vocabulary, your belief system, your expectations of who you are to accept your greatness? Take it in again, deep, breathing in as deeply as you possibly can. allowing the breath to culminate in the abdomen, and breathe. As you do so, allow yourself to release any energies, any thoughts. We call them energies, but they are energies that can promote you into greater experiences in your life. Yes, the energies are ignited by a thought. One thought can give you the imagination to go forth and do great things, invent marvelous things. Remember everything that is necessary for you to remember, all from the benefit of a single thought that radiates through your energy. Today is the 21st of December. And in that day, because of that day, 3 and 3, it makes 6. You add it to the year, which is a 9. Yes. And if this is your day, it still comes back to being a 6. If you are a 6, you know that you have felt the energies of the portals and the vortexes that have come through during this time of the year. Take hold of that energy. Yes, Mercury has come through, and whatever energies Mercury has brought through, they have brought with them a combination, a blending of the energies that are taking place now because of the ascension activation. Take this as a time to fortify your attitude and make it one of gratitude, because these energies are at your command. All you have to do is claim them. Access your breath, and through your breath, you steady yourself, your inner self. And by steadying your inner self, you make yourself aware of the energies that surround you and speak with authority to those energies. For you are protected. You are surrounded by the angels of light that I always call upon before I go on the air, before I talk to you. I speak it in to the very vibration of the energy that exists around us all. I accept it and I claim it. And I see you as you name it. And breathe. And taking another deep breath, you may, if you like, place your palms in parallel position before you, continuing to breathe. I know you're feeling that warmth, that energy, that vibration that is a part of your sovereign self. Place your palms upon your heart, your chest, the area in between your throat, lower throat, and your chest. as you continue to breathe, you will feel the warmth of those energies intensifying. And this is a good thing because this is just the tip of your power, your ability. There is so much electricity within your being, so much strength, energy, power, that if you could focus yourself for just a moment on that which is within you, giving up all of those things that are not for your greatest good, you can see yourself and be yourself and direct yourself to do the great things that you are capable of doing. And so breathe. Wherever you may travel to during this breath meditation, always remember that you are sovereign, that you are in control, and breathe. Breathing through the heart, and those who are familiar with the heart breath meditation, as you take a deep breath, listen for the rhythm of your heart, a single beat, and hold your breath. Listen again, sense again the rhythm, the beat, and over until 3 beats have passed, releasing through parted lips. In other words, you're breathing with the beat of your heart. Recognize and authorize your heart rhythm is now. And breathe. And feel that this energy, especially when it reaches a culmination on the 25th of this month, is an energy that you can direct for greater good. Even now, you can set forth in the future your intention to direct this energy for not only your greater good and your highest purpose, but for the greatest good of this planet, for everyone that you feel love for everyone, stranger, friend, or foe. Surround them in this intention of the light. Take heart. See and know yourself to be the sovereign, the channel, the messenger, the medium of this light. And breathe. The energy that you are feeling now stems from the source of all life forms, of which you are a sovereign entity. Do not surrender your light to anyone else except your greatness. And in sharing the power of the light within you, you will feel the strength of your ascension because you have activated it through your sharing. And breathe. Don't forget, as the heart beats, so allow the rhythm of the breath until they blend into the one. And now, as you sit comfortably, wherever you are, eyelids closed, remembering your true self, breathing with your heart. Take yourself to the highest level that you have ever achieved in your heart, holding that thought. You have already released that which no longer serves you. Breathing that thought, turning your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding of that heart release, turning it inwards, acknowledging your peace and your ability to assist in the healing process, accepting your angelic assistant, four of them, one on each corner, Michael to the right, Gabriel to the left, Uriel before you, Raphael behind you, realizing that these divine entities are working with you around the clock. You breathe, and when it is your heart's desire, you may open your eyes, for you have that attitude of gratitude. You have the sovereign integral working within you, working to get out and assist from an even higher level. And breathe. Ah.
Mm,
Mm.
that was beautiful.
Oh, it was not I, but consciousness had a few messages in there.
Oh, yes. I got every one
I
of them.
see.
Every last one of them. Yes.
Okay, that's good. I started to float myself. I'm like,
Mm.
but that's yes. We won't even go there because we know that I don't need much to get started.
We won't go there. We're going to leave that alone.
Yes, yes. We'll leave that alone right now. Anyway,
Hmm.
my dear, we have 4 days to the countdown of a major vortex coming through
Ooh, is that on
with
Christmas Day?
energies. Yep,
Ooh,
it's also the day of Hanukkah.
yes. Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
And so this is a fantastic opportunity for those who are in the ascension mode to take advantage. Well, maybe advantage is not the word, but to just be able to bring forth that energy. I know there are quite a few people that don't consider uh, some of the events that have taken place to be for their greater good. But you don't know that, people.
Mhm.
You don't. And even if it doesn't prove to be what you think it should be, you are sovereign. Okay? And we know what that means.
Mhm.
Okay? So, as a sovereign individual, we have the ability to offset anything that comes our way. We just have to acknowledge that,
Mhm.
take it into perspective. And so, this is one of the reasons I was told that this evening was for its purpose. This evening was the evening of. Okay. And so that's a good thing to encourage people who just feel that, oh, this, that, and the other. No, it's not this, that, and the other. Okay. It is whatever you are prepared to make yourself.
Mhm.
That's what it is.
Yeah, most definitely. With confidence.
With confidence.
With confidence. Oh, wow.
Yes. And the knowledge that as we are ascending, you know, I don't expect people who are not into or who are familiar with what ascension means to really, uh, well, at this point, they're not really into what this is going to do.
Mm.
And it's all good. Hello?
Yes, hold on. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Aye.
Ooh,
Okay.
sorry.
No, no, no. See, now that's one of the things that people need encouragement on. I've heard about complaints about the energy, and this is breaking down and that it's breaking down. I had a few challenges myself. And so, but the bottom line is we're supposed to take the energy and utilize it, you see.
Mhm.
It's not at all about we're helpless in what's going on. It's about getting into the mode of taking control, okay, of what's going on with us. Getting into the mode. I I was in the where was I? I was standing up. I don't know what it was, why it was. I put my hand in water and felt an electrical shock.
Mm.
I wasn't standing on any electrical equipment. Short between me and the water coming out of the sink. There was no short connected to the to the faucet. I happened to be rinsing my hands and felt an electrical shock. And I'm like, okay, we're back to the feeling the electricity again. Okay. Um that happens as we and that and more takes place
Mm.
as you go through the ascension activation. It's just okay, we are electrical conduits, and the energies that we see around us are all electromagnetic, and the planet is surrounded in an electric magnetic field, and what we call an aura is an electromagnetic field. And so wow, you know what? We're awesome.
That we are. And then some.
Yes, yes, we're awesome. So, but this is sometimes something that is hard for us to get into. It's hard for us to get across to other people. Not that that's something that we have to do, but it's something that we are supposed to remember about ourselves. And so, myself and people like Reverend Sharon,
Yeah, yeah.
that's part of the reason why we're here to assist people in remembering who they really and truly are.
Yes, yes, beyond measure. And I was actually having a conversation with someone today, and just acknowledging the fact that I've been walking the spiritual path for quite some time, and I am sure this is the direction that I want to go in.
Hmm.
And I just had a very, well, I had a thought. I said, well, I can't switch it up at this stage of the game because, meaning, suppose I decide that I want to be a shoemaker at this stage of the game. We're going to have to go through a different set of whatevers to get to all that. But at the end of the day, just recognizing that, I am definitely here as well as you, but, being of service, whatever that means,
Hmm.
but being open to that. And that's a message I would love, just to pass around, be of service to someone else, even if it's just with a smile, saying hello. I mean, you know, we know how smiles are very infectious. And
They're a form of energy.
oh, that too, yeah. And yeah, so just try to be of service to someone else, in these next few days coming up. You don't know what another is going through. So why not just be kind, loving, and smile?
And it seems like such a small thing to ask, but it carries so much weight because of
Hmm.
the energy that a smile can bring forth.
Hmm.
If you see someone, and this is part of the Laricus uh, group,
Hmm.
this is part of the technology, the workbook technology that those of us who are in the group. You're in the group too, right? You just
Well, I'm
haven't.
supposed to be in the group, but I haven't. No, I mean, I haven't received any materials referring to that, but I guess because I'm not there, or I don't know. But I'm supposed to be in that group. Let's put it
you
that
were
way.
in you were in
Yeah,
that group.
I
You are
am in
in
that
that.
group.
Yes,
Okay.
you are.
Okay.
Okay. And so part of the technology that's mentioned as a part of what is being taught in that group is you can find it in, well, you can find it in a great many of the metaphysical teachings. Is you bring yourself to a point where you don't make judgments. You
Mm.
see someone in a particular, and why would anybody be in a bad mood during the holidays? Think about it. Why
Mm.
would someone be in a bad mood during the holidays? There's a possibility that they lost a loved one
Mhm.
during the holidays, or simply being in the holidays reminds them of a loved one that they lost.
Mhm.
Not everyone is going to respond in a loving way to that type of emotional uh, emotional baggage, I'll call it,
Mhm.
because they're hurting. So don't make a judgment. If you come across someone who is ready to rip out your throat, remember, remember, and I know it's hard to remember, but try and stay focused on the fact that this is an illusion that you can change simply by going within and working with your sovereign self. You don't even have to say anything to the person. You don't have to go. You don't. It's not necessarily a touchy feely. Give me a hug moment. What it is a smiling from the heart moment. Because even if they can't see that you're smiling, smiling from your heart means that you are enveloping them in the light, and they may not realize it at the time, and that's okay. When we send out light, when we hold the planet in the light, we're not going to actually physically come into contact with every single soul. However, when I say that to people, I'm saying that because the energy of the level of the vibrations of the energy that we send out as a group is going to be so powerful that that individual will feel it. And we're not trying to change anybody. We just want to give them the opportunity to feel how good it is to bask in the light, positive intention, good vibrations. And that in itself may give them the idea, well, why am I acting like this anyway? I don't have to. Why am I going through this anyway? I don't have to. We we give them an opportunity to look through the peephole, if for even a second. Oh, this is unnecessary. And enough of those moments will help bring them to an epiphany, an aha moment, where even if they're on a path and they're not paying attention to it, they come back to it. Okay? And that may be exactly what they needed. Just your being there smiling at them may be exactly what they needed. Your presence resonating a positive intention of energy can assist them in their shifts. And in assisting them, you're assisting yourself. Okay? That's how it works. Because we are all connected. Even though we don't know and can't remember each other's name half the time,
Half the
half
time.
the half the time. The the energy, the electrical current is what connects us. And so when we're having a really great aha day, we can share that emotion, that energy, especially if you're an empath like myself and Reverend Sharon.
Yes, yes.
Yes, who can go into a room and tell you that, uh-oh, something else has been going on in here.
Mhm.
Okay. And, well, can't help that. That's the truth.
Mhm.
Okay.
True. Mhm.
Then we're telling the truth as it comes through.
Mhm.
Ah. So, in that frame of mind, focusing your heart on the highest level of vibration of energy that you possibly can. It's better to give than to receive. You will be receiving the same frequency of energy that you're giving. This is why, and I've been telling people for years, I've been telling students, etc., etc. Even if somebody does something that would deserve you to just envision them in the worst place in the world, don't do that. Because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for the energy when it returns to receive this very same level of energy that you've sent out. And it may not affect you directly. It may affect someone that is close to you, though. Circumstances beyond your control. And you're like, why does everything happen to my family? Check yourself. What
Mm.
kind of energies are you sending out? Okay. Why does everything happen to me? Okay, what kind of energy are you sending out? Are you really rude to people that you don't need to be rude to? Because you will get back rudeness.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, it is better to give than to receive. And you're not going to suddenly, oh, well, I'm going to do this because this is what I want to receive. No, you work on yourself with the intention of making yourself so loving from the inside
Mm-hmm.
to right, acknowledging the love of your spiritual self from the inside. I was asked earlier by someone, a very good friend, Roxy, if you're listening, uh, this is in love. Oh, I said her name. Oh gosh. Okay. The church is within. Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
And for people who know that church and I don't always come eye to eye. Yes, I know. I am a reverend. I'm ordained. Interface
Interface.
and yes, and the church and I still don't come eye to eye.
Mm.
Okay, the church is within you. You are the church. You are the temple. You are the bone. You are the synagogue. You are the sovereign. So, if you don't like going to church within yourself, then you got a problem
Yes.
because any church you go to is going to reflect how you feel about yourself. Um, I don't think I need to repeat that one, but
You will anyway.
I may just. Okay. Uh, if you get to a church that you're not that crazy about, everything is wrong. The pastor, the choir, the chaplains, this, that, and the other. Okay, think. What are you bringing to the church? What are you bringing to the church? Because the church is a part of you. What are you bringing to the church? No, I can hear them already. Voices. Ah, da, 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 da. I do. I did. I am. Okay,
Mhm.
let's let's get this one straight. If you walk in with love in your heart, true love in your heart for yourself as a human being, and you go to a church that's outside of your physical building, and you take with you a smile, and you speak to those who do not or would not speak to you anyway, then you're in the right place. But if you go in and you don't want to sit near this one or that one, and you got issues with the message from last week, you still not over with the issues from last week.
Last week, still carrying that bag. Still carrying that bag.
Still carrying that one.
Hmm.
And the choir is off. Somebody in the choir is off key, and I'd rather go to the. Oh, okay, you got my drift.
Yep.
then what you see is what you're bringing in with you. So you park all that stuff somewhere, but you don't take it with you. As a matter of fact, you don't keep it on you. As soon as you get a negative thought, recognize it. You have that ability and send it packing. Otherwise, it will end up being luggage that you will continue to carry for the most part of your life. I always tell people I don't know how they can carry a grudge for a day, let alone a week, month, or year. I get a bad back if I listen to it. My back says, you don't need to carry that. Leave that
Mm-hmm.
out there. Leave
Better
that
you
alone.
just leave that
leave,
alone.
leave that. Okay, leave that. Your back is not going to carry it, Sharon. So just leave it where you found it.
Put it back where you got it from.
Thank you. And keep going
Yeah.
because it's only going to get heavier as
Right.
time goes on. Never gets lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. And the more you acknowledge it, the more it will become or create one of those challenges that winds up in your body. Suddenly you can't do this that you used to do, or you can't do that you used to do. And have you ever thought of the fact that maybe you're carrying too much luggage on you,
Mm-hmm.
and the luggage is finally starting to weigh you down so that you can't move around like you used to? No, that wouldn't occur to you. No,
Mm-mm.
no.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, there is a an ancient story that I like to tell. It's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, about it comes from the Eastern tradition, which I've studied and I appreciate. They allow a little bit more freedom to the thought process to their disciples than uh, some religions and philosophies, which shall go nameless because I don't want to hear no fussing later on.
Right.
Okay, the story is about two monks that are traveling to a
Mm-hmm.
distant monastery,
Mm-hmm.
and they come from an order that requires silence and no contact of any kind with women,
Mm-hmm.
girls, older women, younger women, no contact with the opposite gender.
Mm-hmm.
So they're journeying. They've got a road, a path to walk, and they get to a huge body of water. I don't remember if it's a river or a lake, doesn't matter. They're
Mm-hmm.
getting ready to cross because they can swim, but I don't think it's that deep. When they come upon a maiden who is perplexed because she can't get over, she can't swim. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So the older monk, the one with more experience, more practice, more than likely, he assists the young woman and said, "Don't worry, I'll take you over." And he picks her up. He shoulders everything he's already got, backpack, whatever. He picks her up. She's very light. She's very young. She's a maiden. And she and the younger brother, uh, and the older monk, they navigate, they cross over the body of water. And when they're all clear of the water, he rests her down. They kowtow, and she goes her way. So okay, now we're back to the older monk and the younger monk. They're back in the traveling mode. They travel all through the rest of the day. Nightfall, they camp, still maintaining the silent mode. They fix dinner, and after the dinner, the younger monk couldn't help himself. He had to say something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's burgeoning with this challenge he's got from observing the older monk come in contact with this maiden and even talking to her, telling her not to worry. So he says to his senior, "You know what our, you know what we learn. You know our protocol. You know what we stand for. Why did you carry? Why did you carry her?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you carry
Mm-hmm.
that maiden across the river like that? What possessed you?" And he's all reared up, coming out of himself and looking probably furious. "Why did you carry her?" And the older monk turns around to him and says, "Why do you carry her now?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So an entire day had passed by. The younger monk was still upset and concerned, and he's fussing about, "Why did you carry her?" What was it? That must not have been for a very long period of time because they managed to travel. "Why are you carrying her now?" was the response. People, this, especially this holiday season when we have so much to look forward to next year. Yes, we do. We have great things coming our way that's going to require a steadiness of mind, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and a steadiness in the work, meaning meditation and following uh, our path, whatever we deem that path to be. If you're a Buddhist or a yogi or a Christian, if you really and truly follow the context of your philosophy, of your, I mean, Christians are taught that, what is it the master said? Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of a Christian that I know of that follows that. I'll let you know when I recall
Ah,
what.
you go ahead.
I'll let you know when I come up with a name. Okay, because
Okay.
I'm working on it. There must be a list of them somewhere.
You just
All
haven't
right,
come across it just
I
yet.
haven't come across it yet.
The
Um,
jury's still
I'm
out.
Yeah, well, and I'm not bad mouthing Christians. We know who we are. I was raised Christian. Okay, let's get this straight. Christian is the Latin interpretation of uh, a Hebrew or Aramaic word, which I'm not going to pronounce because I'm not sure the pronunciation right now, but it means simply a level of consciousness and awareness that exists within each of us. We each have the Christ consciousness within us. That's the one that does the work. And when people say, "Oh, I've been healed," well, that's because they allowed themselves to accept the healing energy that's been there all the time, just waiting for them to acknowledge it. What triggered the acknowledgement may have been a prayer or a thought. We have oils and et cetera, et cetera. People shift energy and so forth. All good. However, if the individual does not accept the healing, it doesn't matter what you're doing, and it can work. I've talked to doctors who have completed procedures on people that should have brought them right into the world of healthiness. And because the individual refused the healing, didn't work. I know of people that I have seen people. Reverend David Epley used to do a fantastic job of laying hands on people. I've seen people get up out of wheelchairs. I've seen people throw canes and are able. I had a healing uh, process done in my house where a group of individuals came, and you guys are gonna get a chance to talk to Peter. He's a good friend of mine that has a program out healing. It's calling healing to what is it? To this with sound something. He doesn't use sound, but
Mhm.
the analogy is that it takes place with the speed of sound.
Mhm.
And a gentleman came in who had gotten his hearing healed. He couldn't hear, and he went and he practiced he practiced this particular concept, and suddenly he could hear. And it was because he decided or accepted that he was able to receive the healing. He received it. And so he came and he sat in my living room and we practiced the technique again. Okay. And he said, I hear even better now than I did before. And it was like, wow, fantastic. And so there are people who can accept their healing process and they go forward. And it's like, hey, all my life I've been waiting for this. And then there are people, it doesn't matter how much energy you direct towards them, how much light,
You send their
and
way.
okay, it's
Mhm.
not happening. And
Mhm.
that's because they're ignoring the church that's within.
Mm. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
That church within you, that is where the healing takes place.
Mhm.
That is where you become connected. The connection becomes solid. And you, as a sovereign being, you radiate. And the master, I call him Yeshua. I know some people don't. I
Mhm.
get it. You know, I had a challenge with saying Jesus, and I grew up with that mentality. Say Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Mhm.
Okay, those of you that have gone through the apostolic faiths and the evangelical faiths, you know what I'm talking about. Sanctified faiths. My
Mhm.
mom, yes. Anyway, uh,
Mhm.
when I became, well, I won't. I don't remember at what age I decided. I think it was still living at home when I became aware of the fact that his mother would have anointed him with the name Yeshua, and he would have been known as Yeshua ben Yosef,
Mhm.
son of Joseph, or to translate into English. So when we say Jesus, we're speaking basically uh, English translated from Latin. Me, I always felt close to the Aramaic, so I say Yeshua. No offense meant to those of you who are still upholding the other end of it. That's okay. When I
Mhm.
say the other end, that the particular ideal of uh, the Christian movement, that's okay. I'm fine with that because to me, each resembles or is a part of what is the actual truth. Every one has a little bit of the truth
Mhm.
and a little bit of the not truth. And so if we connect them all together, we come up with the whole. This is my point of view. This is why interfaith is my vehicle, because
Mm.
I believe in including everybody.
Yes.
Okay? We and back to the expenditure of the energies, including everybody means that we are included. Our energy that we use to share to include everyone with, it resonates throughout the planet and makes a global network of inclusion for the planet.
Mm.
So you want to see things done properly in the right way where humanity is just advancing as it should. Start with the church within. You need healing or prayer or finance blessing on the finances, on your finances. There is so much involved with that. There are codes that assist in the connection of our DNA that we can activate as a part of our ascension that will unblock our finances. But this is something that we determine when we go to the temple or the synagogue or the ashram within,
Mm.
the church within. This is something that, after a while, if you don't recognize it, you'll never recognize it. You've got to
Yeah.
you can't miss it. It's like, okay, I'm here.
Hmm.
Yes, most definitely. And I want to for just a second thank Reverend Sharon, the other Reverend Sharon,
Mm.
because she is so diligent in her work. She's offering free readings tomorrow evening on Facebook.
Yes.
Yes, and I
Yes.
just wanted to pull that in for a second. And that connects with something that I put on my blog talk
Hmm.
introduction. Readings and the gift of seership, the Sibyls, and those who are familiar with the term. Uh, the Sibyls basically were given, was a name given to the women that prophesied. We all know about the men who were the prophets
Hmm.
biblically, but the women, and this is a term that's taken from Greek Roman, were called Sibyls. As a matter of fact, there was one Sibyl in particular. I cannot recall the name right now, but she was supposedly the Sibyl that proclaimed that Yeshua, uh, the representation of the Christ in physical form, was about to make his way in. And
Hmm.
so this is a tradition that has started. I brought that up because I just wanted Reverend Sharon to know that I consider her to be a most valuable Sybil, and that the reason that we are here, regardless of gender or culture or whatever, the guides that have come in this time around have come in because it is the time. This is the shift that's taking place now.
Hmm.
Once again, uh, December 25th was not the birthday of Yeshua, known to some as Jesus the Christ. Okay, we got that part. You
Hmm.
guys can throw the rotten tomatoes at me later. Oh, by the way, tomatoes are not good for you. Uh, it was the time of uh, a particular deity that was worshipped by the Romans that they wanted to see if they could kind of like get everybody to worship on that same day. So most people that I know are aware of that, but there's a few that are still sticking with the 25th. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Any
So how did that
day.
come about?
Oh, it came about basically from Constantine,
Mm,
the Emperor Constantine, who um, was supposedly responsible for having the reference to reincarnation edited from the Bible, as well as the Gospels written by the other disciples, Mary of Magdalene included.
mhm,
Uh, and his mother went to the Holy Land and claimed that she had an experience uh, where she felt Yeshua had been born. And so uh, at, at that point, it was designated the place where he had been born. And a church is built on top of that spot right now. Um, what was it? Pope Gregory, I believe, is the one that wrote the edict of all these different edicts, and one of them was pertaining to making this deity, well, not claiming that deity, but making that day a part of the celebration for the worship. Trying to, his excuse was trying to bring more people into the church.
wow.
He also was responsible for changing the day of worship from Saturday to Sunday.
Mhm,
It's called, if you go online, it's called the Sunday Go to Church Law, I think. Uh, I think that's the, I think, I saw the book, I read the book on it, uh,
mhm,
glanced through the book on it some time ago,
mhm,
and years ago.
mhm,
And um, I read the story, and it was all because, partly because even the converts. Now, remember that it was the Jews that followed Yeshua from the beginning, and he claimed this is why he came, basically to remind and wake up certain groups of people. But he came for to remind everybody. Okay, it,
mhm,
and especially if you accept what history has written about him. And then the Gentiles, or rather the Romans, started coming into the picture, which is when Constantine decided, "Hey, this is good. We can ride on this one.
mm,
We can use this to our advantage." And so he converted, and they were already celebrating on the 25th of December. They couldn't stop the celebration for this particular deity on the 25th of the month. And so they said, well, we'll just make this Yeshua's month. Okay. And
mhm.
that's how it, and all a lot of
Guided
misinformation,
information.
misguidance, yes, to keep us. And so because what would happen is that when the Gentiles would follow the Christian movement, we'll say the Christian movement, they would not work on Saturdays. They would not. They followed the program because he was Jewish.
Mhm,
Okay, and I think people forget that he was Jewish. So there were certain things he did not do on
the Sabbath.
Saturday, which is
Mm,
the actual Sabbath, and no running up and down, going into the marketplace, no shopping, no spending of the money. You'd spend practically the whole day in contemplation, meditation, the the word. Okay, you're focusing on the word that day, and it's a whole day thing. Okay, and you don't cook. You eat. You either eat leftovers,
mhm.
but basically, or you cook the day before and then you pull it out. And so, and I know it's tough to follow that because I I work on it, and sometimes I find myself ending up outdoors on Saturdays. But you know, I do what I feel I can do to kind of like offset that.
Mm-hmm.
I make my peace with my church. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's it is a day that was used because first of all, um, it's has to do with the movements of the planets. The energy that comes through on the what we recognize as the 25th is energy that is coming through because of that windows of different dimensions are opening up, vortexes are open, portals are open, and this was why the 25th was chosen in the solar calendar
Mm-hmm.
was chosen because there's so much kinetic energy going on, and people who are familiar with controlling the electromagnetic fields and can sense them and can direct them the way they want to direct them. It's a prize day. It's recognized in the old religion, known as the Celtic religion, is recognized because of that. It's a
Mm-hmm.
day of energy that's really, I mean, it's fantastic. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you'll notice, Hanukkah is going to be on the same day as Christmas this year. That's not a coincidence. The Jewish religion follows the same train of thought or line of thought with embracing the planet movements, etc., etc. And the solar calendar or the calendar that follows the Christ consciousness follows or they pattern at the holidays after the Jewish holidays. So that's why if you look at the calendars, make a comparison between the Jewish and the Christian or solar calendars, or the we'll say solar and lunar calendars, you'll see that things like Easter and uh, Passover and these things are like they're almost like steps behind each other, and that's because one is following the planets and the other one is following the one that's following the planets. Whew, I got that one out. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
Vaughn. How you doing?
Hey, good one.
He's there. He's quiet. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Oh, whoa! Can we hear
Oh,
you?
can we hear you?
Yes, we can hear you. Woo! Okay.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, greetings from the island of Antigua.
Oi.
Ah, nice. We're getting some
Hey.
island vibes now.
All
That's
right.
right.
Fantastic.
That's right.
Ah. All righty. Well, I was told by Robert to tell everybody, hello, I love you and miss you. And so there,
Oh,
Robert, there it goes.
oh, he's
Okay.
listening. He's listening on.
Excellent.
He's he's
Mm,
somewhere staying out of trouble.
that's a good
But
thing.
yeah, he couldn't
That's
come into the studio this evening, but he's all good. We
good.
talked a little earlier, and so yeah. So as far as the holidays are concerned, and we've got the what is that Mercury thing going on. So there's a lot of windows and dimensions that are open right now. Did you
Hmm.
have a word on that, Brother Vaughn?
Brother Vaughn, yeah, it's enlighten us. Mhm. Oh, he's on mute. Hold on. We gotta wait for him to come back off of mute.
Oh, okay.
I must apologize, ladies. I am in actually, my attention is a little split right now, so I was not able to respond to the question, but if you could repeat that for me, I would certainly.
ah,
Ah, yes.
okay. What was the question? Uh-oh, she's gone. She left the room again. Um,
She'll come back. She'll come back
uh,
very soon, trust me.
she'll come back. Yeah, okay. All right. But in this, and my cat is just, would you cut it out? He gets crazy when this type of energy is on, and then I have to run him off. Okay. Um, what we were talking about was how the recognition or the observance of the Christ child's birthday started on the 25th of December. And so I was going through I think it was going through the whole thing with the Emperor Constantine.
Right.
But yeah, but
I
basically it's,
joined in at that point.
yeah, yeah, it's basically just something that the church felt that was necessary to get people into the pews. And really, astrologically, not astrologically, but really, according to the calculations of the planets during that time period, if you can trust the information that's coming through, he would have been a Pisces, born the first week of March, and when spring is coming in. So actually, the time period that it has been used to celebrate his resurrection would have been closer to the time period to when he was born. Uh, well, isn't that something? My goodness. Anyway, I've lost the both of them.
No,
Okay.
actually, I'm still
No,
here.
we're listening to you.
We're
Oh,
still
We
here.
lost the both of us.
We're still
oh,
here.
no. Well, don't listen to me. Talk.
Oh, wow. You've
Well,
been doing such a beautiful
I'll
job. This Christ consciousness energy you have flowing through you today, sister. It's beautiful.
I'll say a little bit in terms of what you're talking about, um,
Thank you.
of the entire story of the birth,
There you go.
the life, the death, and the resurrection of Yeshua. That that narrative that is constructed upon certain facts, for example, like the use of the 25th of December as a birth date and so forth. It actually goes back to very, very early civilizations, and this is in support of what Reverend Sharon was saying earlier, because that same very narrative can be found as a part of the Egyptian civilization, the early ancient Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe it was around the god of Osiris, but I might be incorrect. The same facts can also be traced back to early Greek civilizations, to a number of early civilizations. But it also speaks to the fact that throughout history, the essential one truth has been interpreted and presented, incorporated into whatever agendas or whatever social constructs for that time and period. So yes, there is much misinformation and much, I guess, corruption of the information of the truth.
Oh, yes. There's even
Hmm.
it's even been funneled through Buddha. I
Hmm.
I can't remember the name of the book, but there is a book that shows the similarities between everything that took place in the life of Yeshua as taking place through the life of Buddha. Uh, and we know that Buddha was an ascended master. I believe that Yeshua was an ascended master. There are many ascended masters that went without notoriety, but this story, some call it the greatest story ever
Right.
told,
Yeah.
yeah, became very popular with the Catholic Church, and so they've done a lot of promotion on that. I have to be very careful of how I refer to the Catholic tradition. I have quite a few friends that were or still are of Catholic
About.
upbringing.
Hmm.
Uh, and so
including one right here on the call in the studio. So
I wasn't gonna say that, but I do. But I do have a couple of other friends as well who were raised and went to all girl Catholic schools, even, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, I know the
Mhm.
propaganda was pretty heavy, and so, and it's unfortunate, but um, obviously there is an awakening taking place now, and I'm so glad. I am so glad because I don't feel as alone as I used to.
Yeah. You used to feel alone.
Well, not alone, but I was thinking about it. Was it yesterday or earlier this morning when I was thinking about some of the scholars that I've run across? I had run across a scholar that was on the selection or editing committee for the Dead Sea Scrolls, which they still have not released all of the information from the scrolls. And I got into it with him because I want to read it. I want all of it out. And he was like, the public, the masses are just will never be ready. And I'm like, who are you? Basically.
To make that.
Oh, uh, uh, God bless him. He's no longer in this dimension. But we got into it. He called me a heathen, and so
Ooh,
and
you
I
are
wanted to
causing
say,
trouble again, huh?
uh, causing trouble. I've had people try and throw Bibles at me, and I was like, I'm just trying to get the truth out there. I love the truth. Okay, if it even if it's even if it's not as pleasing as it could be, let's have the truth. Let me decide what is not pleasing for my own growth. And I've always been like that difficult child.
Unruly, they would say.
That yeah, my mom used that very phrase on
Unruly.
unruly. She unruly.
Oh
Ah,
wow, yes.
oh, but my grandfather loved it, so I didn't pay too much attention to everybody else. But
Mm.
it's not unruliness. Is seeking knowledge.
Mhm.
And why give incorrect knowledge when you can just go ahead and give the truth and get it over with?
Mhm.
Because eventually the truth will always come
Set
out.
you. Mhm.
Okay, it will always catch up with you. And granted, it seems to have taken a much longer time with the Christ consciousness. I mean, year 2016, solar calendar. In reality, this is not the year 2016. There's so many calendars and civilizations that have gone on before us. I've pondered sometimes, Lord, I'm in a country that does not recognize civilization uh, until 2,000 years ago. Huh.
Wow.
And what's that about? Uh, okay. And it's basically acknowledged around, well, most people that deal with the Western mind know that Americans don't recognize civilizations that took place before the year 2016.
Mm.
Anyway, uh,
What that say?
it makes it makes for me an opening of the eyes with what's going on. Why is that? And following down, as I like to say, the rabbit hole. I jump into that rabbit hole all the time.
So you do, do you?
Well, let me rephrase that. I am familiar with jumping into the rabbit.
Mhm.
Uh,
Wow.
yes. All right then. Okay.
Mhm.
So tomorrow, my dear,
Yes, my love.
we've talked about you giving the readings. That's what started me on this. Is that we came in those people who came in to intentionally assist during this time period by bringing forth readings and assisting with the use of tools
Mhm.
on the spiritual path, on the spiritual level.
Mhm.
And this is the intention because we are much greater than we believe ourselves to be. So it is necessary, if it's necessary, for someone to go and say, I need a reading.
Mhm.
Go and check out Reverend Sharon
Yeah.
tomorrow on Facebook. And my only caveat is that since the electromagnetic energies are involved in everything that we do,
Mhm.
everything. If you had a reading yesterday, like a cake that's just come out of the oven, let
Got
that set for a little while. You know,
Mhm.
uh, you don't want to keep rushing back. The electromagnetic energies run in cycles of 3 months. Okay, so we got October, November, December. Then we
Mhm.
got January, February, March. So it runs in a 3 month cycle. Don't go and get a reading every day, please.
Mhm.
don't don't
Right.
don't do that to yourself, because every time you get a reading, you change your timeline. So if you got a fairly good reading the last time, spend your energy bringing that intuitive perception into place. Okay.
Mhm.
Timelines. Okay. And you've heard me say this before. Timelines can be changed by a thought. In the
Mhm.
blink of an eye, change your timeline. And I know that people would like to change what they consider a bad reading to a better one. In my experience, and I used to do tarot card readings for a living. She said it out loud. I
It
I
was a
would yes, I would not give a tarot card reading to somebody for more than 3 sets in one reading, because
mhm.
anything beyond the 3 within that time frame, you're asking for disaster. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Eh, okay. For all my psychic friends and medium friends, you know that I'm telling the truth. So don't give me that the next time you talk to me, okay?
Mhm.
Um, but
Mhm.
what you want to do is you want to give yourself, you the individual, you who carries the church, the temple, the ashram, the synagogue within you. You want to use your sovereign ability to navigate your readings when you get them, because you have the ability. Timeline. Timelines are not linear, okay? And they can
Mhm.
be changed by a word. And we don't have time to go into quantum physics and quantum
Physics.
timelines. They exist. I've seen myself in another timeline, so I know that it is. Oh, she said it again. Okay. Yes, these things exist. They take place. Stop messing with them.
Mm.
You go to Reverend Sharon, you get a good reading, you leave it alone for at least 3 months.
Yes.
That won't hurt you. Okay?
Mhm.
Anyway,
Thank you.
and you're welcome, sweetie. And you'll be on again on Blog Talk next Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. 10 a.m.
Okay.
Eastern Standard Time. And
Yes.
you want that call-in number, don't you?
Yes. You got it handy.
I think
You
it
got it
will. I
handy.
don't know why it won't do that, but hey, I just use that to make sure you're on point there.
Oh, well,
I
see,
don't
no. Once I make the discovery, I leave it to the
for the other
acquisition.
one.
I leave it to the acquisition of the universe. So,
Hmm. Yes, but yeah, I can also give out what I have coming up also, because
what
I'm
what
going to be okay. So we have the Facebook Live readings that will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow. And let's see, on Friday, I will be appearing at Macy's again.
Ooh,
Last one for the season
yay.
in my ugly sweater. It's an ugly sweater epidemic going on, girl.
Oh, okay. I think I remember saying this to a friend of mine earlier. Never
Mhm.
call anything that belongs to you, that you
Ugly.
acquire or is given to you, ugly. Okay?
You're absolutely right. I feel the same way. But guess what?
Yes.
It's a national holiday or something.
Oh, is
It's a
it?
big deal. Yes.
Yes. And we wonder
Let
why
me see. Today is Wednesday. So
mhm.
National Ugly Sweater Day was actually last
Really?
Friday. Yes, it's a
Hmm.
thing. It's a thing.
And then we wonder at the level of vibrations of the energies that are around, and we're calling ourselves. Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah.
what else will you be doing on Friday? I'm trying to stay out of trouble this evening.
You try to you working hard, girl. I can feel it. I'm sending you lots of love and light, girl.
Oh God.
Oh
Okay.
goodness. So yeah, so I will be doing that. So yeah, I'll be at Macy's on Friday from 1 to 7, 1 p.m. to
Hmm.
7 p.m. And I believe that will be all for me until next Tuesday. I'll be back on Blog Talk Radio, and of course, I don't have the number, but anyway, the Merging Spirit radio show, and
Hmm.
yeah, so we'll be on at 10 and only for a half an hour. And we had such a beautiful show it last Tuesday. I saw you were trying to get on. And yeah, it was a beautiful show
Oh yeah.
last Tuesday. And oh my goodness, it was just amazing. And the people that I talked to were amazing. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. And what else do I have? So I'll be ready to announce everything coming up. I'll be at the Center for Inner Wisdom on January 9th for the Chakra Image Workshop.
Hmm.
And this time, this go around, we will be taking a look at the spiritual energies you have in and around you
Aha.
that to assist you in
Yes.
not being a reactive self out there in the world, as we call it.
Yes. And I can give you that number now if you want it.
Oh, would you please?
646
Hmm.
716 8582.
Thank you. I didn't want to give the wrong number. I'm looking at the number right now, but I thought it was the other number. So
The
yes,
other
six
number.
four six 716 8582. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I shall be on tomorrow morning at 11
Um,
a.m. on Blog Talk Radio for 30 minutes.
mhm.
The message that's coming through the messenger at this point in time is encouragement.
Mm,
Encouragement, people. We are lifting and we are assisting in lifting the vibrations of the energies that are out there. As I said before, the energies, you got to know that they're real, and you got to know that you are a sovereign integral. It's within you. You can, with your own thoughts, take control of those energies and direct them for your higher good and the higher good of the planet. So, my number is 646 478 5120.
mhm,
And I'll be on for, it's 45 minutes actually, 15 of them in the archives. That's okay.
mhm,
And then this coming Monday, there will be another program on YouTube, right? On YouTube at 7 p.m. And my spirit guides are trying to work with me to do so. I may be doing something in the interim over the weekend. I've got to see because I've been telling them no, and they've been telling me yes, and you know how it is. Just she's just rebellious. That's all. But I have
and
to.
it comes in different forms, unlike mine.
Yeah, so. I'm working. I'm trying to work on getting everything because I got plans, and so I'm trying to work things out. But we shall see. Okay, so Monday evenings at 7 on YouTube, and then again next Wednesday,
Mhm.
also at 7 on YouTube. And I'm not going to say exactly what's going on because I'm going to wait for them to channel it through, which means I
Right.
have to come down from this evening's channeling and then pick it up again, which
Mhm.
is all good.
Mhm.
And so as we are signing off, some of you I won't hear or see from or hear from or see until after the holiday. So God bless. I think my brother is on the hangout. Hi Gary, and just know that you are being held in the light. Go forward in your heart, for you are the temple. You are the light of the world. As you breathe in, resonating that breath through your heart, remember that you are never alone. And what you see of the illusion in this matrix will be dealt with, will be taken care of with your assistance as you maintain your focus. It's all good. It's all light. You are a spiritual warrior. Do not take fright. I love you. I bless you. I am, we are.
Mhm.
Enjoy. Namaste.
Namaste. God bless. One love. Thank you.
And good night.
Good night. Good night, Vaughn.
Good night, Vaughn. I think he's gone.
No.